Well, hi. Today is Thursday, January 15th, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. Big day here. Big day at the studios on Willow as we are going to be having an open house and ribbon cutting. Lovely for you to stop by. It's going to be at 4 o'clock today, run until 6. We'll be cutting ribbons at around 4:15 or so, and there will also be a giveaway, and we're going to be announcing who the winners are of our video and podcast package. We are still taking votes on that, so you can still get a vote in for your favorite business. And a lot of people have already been taking part. So thank you so much for those that already have. And want to make a note that you can see we've done a lot of work here in the studio and it's really starting to look sharp. Now, this is a process as we go along. And before more of the work was done today, I actually recorded some interviews. And they're going to be playing over the next few days. So you're going to see the studio is going to look different. We'll go back and forth as the interview may have been done before more of the renovation was done inside of the studio. Like, that's just me. Nobody else cares. But it's really starting to take shape. And love for you to stop by. Take a look. Again, that ribbon cutting coming up this afternoon, beginning at 4. Today on the show, we are going to learn more about a very special thing that is coming to our region. It's going to be the Wall That Heals. Now, this is a 3/4 size replica of the Vietnam Memorial Wall that is in Washington, D.C. And the Veterans Office was able to secure this wall for us. And also, we're going to have it over Memorial Weekend, which is one of the most special weekends that we could have it. It's going to be at Lewis Central. And to learn more about it and just some of the background as to what brought it here, we're going to bring in Kate Gerber. She's our guest today. Kate is a public relations manager for Pottawattamie County. So it'll be Kate Gerber. Will be joining us very shortly here on Morning Coffee. You know, if you have a leak, a clogged drain, or if you're planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs is ready to go with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. They're locally owned and trusted and take pride in doing the job right the first time. So residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike, call Waldstein Plumbing. Visit waldsteinplumbing.com. Also, technology should work for you, not against you. And at ThinkSpace IT, they provide expert IT solutions to keep your business running smoothly and securely, from cybersecurity and cloud services to network management and tech support. They simplify IT so you can focus on what matters most. Stay protected, stay connected, stay ahead. Visit ThinkSpaceIT.com. And S&B Country Kennel, the top spot in Southwest Iowa when you need to know your dog will receive only the best. Boarding, daycare, grooming, self-washing, training, and even a membership available to a dog park over an acre in size. S&B Country Kennel also has rescue dogs, so check with them about adoption possibilities. S&B Country Kennel, just west of I-29 on Bungie Avenue, south of Council Bluffs. Well, anytime I want information about anything going on in Pottawattamie County, I get a hold of Kate Gerber, and she just kind of fills me in on what's happening. Thank you so much for making the long trek across the, did you cross 2 crosswalks to get here?
Exactly 2, I believe.
But also a chilly day as we are recording. So thank you for getting out there and braving the cold. And this is kind of new. As we were recording this, it is in the morning hours. I'm still learning how the studio works. So you can see I've got sun probably lighting up my face and behind me and everything else. But
You're just glowing.
that's the idea. We had talked before on the show about the Vietnam War Memorial Wall replica that is coming to our area. And we wanted to talk a little bit more about it to learn more information because a few things have shifted, which is that's just how it's going to be.
Yep, absolutely. And, it's so exciting. We're thrilled to be hosting it. We will be hosting it over Memorial Day weekend. So we have a little bit of lead time still. So we're happy to come on and chat about it as it leads up to it. But one of the biggest changes is we will now be hosting this at Lewis Central High School. So we're very thankful to the superintendent there and everybody who has helped support this change in venue. It just is going to, for a few logistical reasons, be a better fit for being able to host the event. And we're still thrilled that, most importantly, we're bringing this wall to Pottawattamie County. That was the biggest thing, was that no matter what, we get to bring it here for our veterans and for the community.
Now, this is, if I remember correctly, a 3/4 size. So it's still Very, very big.
Yes. So it's meant to, as closely as possible, replicate the experience that you get if you go to DC. It's 375 feet long, still has that same apex feeling where you
Mhm.
walk towards the center as it gets taller. Individuals who visit are still able to do the etchings of names. We'll have volunteers there who can help you find names on the wall. So everything, again, very similar to the experience you would get in Washington, DC, but just making it more accessible.
It's obviously got to get here. And this is kind of a cool thing that you're going to be putting together because you're wanting this to actually make its way through the county.
Yes. So one of the really neat things that they let us have a little bit more say in, because so much of this is very regulated and regimented. They want
Mhm.
it to, if there's something that they do in DC, you're allowed to do that when the wall comes to visit your community. If it's something that does not happen in DC, you cannot do that when the wall comes to your community. But something where you get a little bit more room to tailor it to your area is the escort route. So when the wall and the trailer comes into your community, we have it escorted with a motorcycle, motorcade,
Mhm.
and we'll get to request volunteers for that. But we're going to have, since we have such a big county, we get to really take a unique route through the county. We're going to start out on the east side, out at the fairgrounds in Avoca, and then work our way through several communities as we make our way into Council Bluffs.
That is, I think, is going to be pretty powerful.
Mhm.
And also getting that information out to the communities who know, okay, here's when it's scheduled to come through, because we want people to be out lining the streets as it comes through. And I know that these different communities are going to want to do that.
Absolutely. And so the motorcade part will happen on Thursday, May 21st. And so we will have, time estimates communicated out. The total route should take, I believe, from start to finish, approximately an hour. And so we'll hit, again, we're planning to go through, I believe, a handful of towns throughout the county. We'll make sure to share that out far and
Hmm.
wide. As of right now, we do have two separate event pages set up through the veterans page on Facebook, as well as linked to the county page on Facebook. So if you're following one or both, you can find the events there. One is specific to the motorcade. So if that's something where you have a motorcycle group who might be interested in participating, definitely go follow that event. Or if you're just interested in learning more and making sure that you're staying up to date on any of the volunteer sign up and other information, make sure you're following the general event page on Facebook.
Now, the volunteer part is you're going to need to staff this. You got to have people there.
Yes.
And also, it's a 24-hour thing, right? It doesn't close.
It does not. Again, that's similar to the experience that you can have in DC. You can visit it 24 hours a day. And so once we get that wall built, which is all volunteer driven, so we will need volunteers who are feeling strong, able bodied, and willing to help physically assemble the wall. Then we will also need volunteers to help staff it around the clock. So it will open up on Thursday, and then it will be open until 2 p.m. on Monday on Memorial Day.
So there's actually quite a bit of time here. And correct me if I'm wrong, because it's over Memorial Weekend, we're actually getting an extra day here with it, correct?
Not an extra day, we've just shifted.
Just
So
shifted. Okay.
typically it would be hosted Thursday through Sunday, and we are hosting Friday through Monday so that
Okay.
we're able to include the actual holiday.
Able to include that. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and we also know that, I mean, Memorial Weekend, many times families are doing different things. So it's good that it's here long enough that everybody that wants to go see it or be a part of it is going to have an opportunity to do that. Do we know any information yet about what the volunteers that are actually there at the wall helping people, what they need to be doing? Is that still coming, that information? Where are we at with that?
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of different types of roles. So if, physical manual labor in May is not something that sounds appealing to you as far as volunteer efforts go, we're going to have so many different types of things people can help with. You can help volunteer at the volunteer kind of staff table, and that's where you will help direct people to what part of the wall the name of their individual they might be looking for is located. So we'll have books that have all the rows and number information. So pretty simple task there. Simply just helping kind of explain some of the information to people. We'll have individuals near the mobile education unit as well. and really just making sure that everything's running smoothly. So, with the setup at Lewis Central, obviously it's a very flat area. We're very close to the parking lot, which is great because we won't have to worry about as much transporting back and forth from the parking lot. But just making sure that we have enough people there so that anyone who's visiting can find what they're looking for, can have the experience that they're looking to have. We'll also have a couple of ceremonies throughout the event when we're hosting. The first one that they always include is a welcome home ceremony. They don't call it an opening ceremony because, like I mentioned, it really does open up as soon as the wall is assembled. But the welcome home ceremony will happen on Friday evening, and that will include a national anthem, some speakers, and then just really that moment to acknowledge all of the service members who were involved in Vietnam and just really trying to have that special moment as we embark on the full weekend of hosting the wall.
Well, as I talked before when we were bringing this up, my father served during Vietnam time. He wasn't in Vietnam, but he was serving in the Navy during that same time in 1966 and 1967. So, out of respect and honor to him, that's why I'm volunteering. But also, I'm a member of the Masons Kobaya Lodge 631, and I brought it up in a meeting, and they are on board too. So, as an organization, we want to let you know that we are volunteering our time to be able to help with this. And we also know that there's going to be a lot of others inside of the organization that want to do the same. So, that's just one part. We've got a lot, there's going to be a lot of time slots to fill. And I'm going to encourage, if you are a member of a club or an organization, do this as a project for that. Obviously, individual volunteers are wonderful and are going to be needed, but we have so many different great organizations in the area. Come on out and do it as an organization. I think that that would be uh, just a way to give back and to be able to show, our pride in what it is that you guys have been able to pull and bring into the county. This is not a small thing that's happening.
Absolutely.
This is big.
Well, and it's such a unique opportunity to be able to host this. They're actually, the wall just opened in Hawaii for this coming weekend. And this is, I believe, that one of the first times or the first time in a very long time that they've gone and brought it back to Hawaii. So it's off cycle because normally they would not be going anywhere in January,
Yeah.
but they have to have plenty of time to transport it all the way to Hawaii and then get it back. And just to see the whole experience and what it means to these communities when it arrives is so impactful. And we're just so honored to be able to bring this experience to our veterans. And there are so many unique opportunities to be able to get involved, whether it's with the motorcade, whether it's getting a club or organization to volunteer. We do need to have some benches made so that there's seating available around the clock. So if anybody has a woodworking hobby or a club at a school, that's something that we're looking for. There's just a lot of, I put a call out on my LinkedIn for a bugle player. So if you happen to know any buglers, we would love to have a bugle player to be able to play taps at the
Mhm.
ceremonies. We're looking for people who can do the national anthem, but I think we have a few leads there. So, yeah, there's just a lot of interesting ways to be able to get involved and bring your talents and passions to something that means a lot to so many people. If you know somebody who's in a retirement community, being able to reach out to their groups so that we can get them to visit the wall,
Mhm.
that's something that we're hoping, because just again making it more accessible for them if they can't get to DC, to be able to still have this kind of healing experience here.
So, just a reminder then, the need for people to help with the assembly is on the Thursday before Memorial Day.
Yes.
And then the ceremony is happening on that Friday and that Friday evening. Is
Hmm.
that right?
Correct.
Right. And then it's going to be open from on Friday through Monday afternoon
Correct.
and 24 hours a day. So need volunteers. And I'm sure that you're going to get the information that you need to be able to guide people to go through that. Obviously, staying respectful and understanding the magnitude of what it is that we have here. And while you're there viewing, we all want to be on the same page with that too. So,
Yes, and they do provide a volunteer training that happens on Thursday evening. So technically at that point the wall is open, but they also assume that that's an opportunity for volunteers to be able to come together and get that training from the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Foundation staff themselves. So that's not even coming from the committee who's working on this. So that's a great opportunity to make sure that everybody's on the same page. And then obviously we'll make sure that volunteers have water and food and for the shifts that they're working. I think we're aiming for 4-hour shifts. Certainly, people are invited to sign up for as many of those as they would
Right.
like, but we're also trying to be accommodating and respectful of the fact that this is something that people are taking time out of their days and their busy schedules and a holiday weekend. And we know it's a holiday weekend. And that's one of the other reasons why we're trying to have these conversations
Right.
so early is to just make this a part of your holiday plan and put this on the calendar. And, if you're planning on leaving town for Memorial Day weekend, maybe don't leave until Saturday so that you can still be a part of this on Thursday or Friday.
I think also it bears mentioning, and you already touched on this, that with the motorcade and going through all the different communities in the county, this, while it will be located in Council Bluffs, this is not strictly a Council Bluffs event. This is the opportunity for our entire region to be able to come and visit. Whether you're in Southwest Iowa, whether you're across the river in Omaha or Bellevue, or even farther out, we encourage you to come and be a part of this. Even if you're just coming to view it, better yet, look for an opportunity to volunteer. And
Absolutely.
and again, casting a wide net, because
Yes.
we want this to be for the entire region.
Yeah, it's just such a unique experience. And there's no reason why you can't just incorporate this into your plans. And maybe it's a 20-minute drive, maybe it's a 45-minute drive, but it's something that it's certainly a shorter travel time than it takes to get to DC. And while it's not going to replicate that exact experience, the amount of the magnitude of it, because we were fortunate enough when it was in Nevada, Iowa last summer, we went and visited it because that was when we were in the thick of the application process. And we had heard it's very beneficial to go if it's possible and if it's near you at all to
Right.
go see it, just so that you can have a better understanding of the impact it's having on that community and what it means to really host it and what it looks like to host it. What
What
are
what
some
did
of
you see while you were in Nevada? I mean, because that,
the
like you said, good information to have. What experience were you having there?
I mean, first off, they had to adapt because we arrived in the morning following there had been a windstorm overnight and the awnings and tent pieces for the mobile education unit had been destroyed. So
Oh,
they
wow.
were literally in the midst of repairs when we got there and just was a good reminder that you have to be ready for anything. And especially when you think about weather in Iowa, and we're going to be hosting this at the end of May. So I've already reached out to my good friends over at emergency management and made sure that we're going to have a solid plan in place. But you walk up to that wall, and I'm fortunate enough I've been to the wall in DC as well. Um, but it just really does hit you, as especially I can't remember the exact term for it, but there is it's I believe it's the sacred arc as you get closer to it, where there's really no talking, no cell phones. Um, I think in the whole area, there's really no animals other than service animals in general. Even if you have golf carts because you need to transport volunteers, they're supposed to, everything needs to stay out of the sacred arc. And as you get closer to it, it just does feel so solemn. And when you watch, and we didn't get to see it get assembled, but I've seen some of the videos of that now that we've gone through some of the trainings and the reverence that everyone is giving this as you're carrying these panels, even for the smaller panels, two people have to carry each panel because you're giving the respect to the names that are on those panels. Because you would hate to think that, oh,
Right.
it's a small panel, one person can carry it, and then what happens if you drop it? Like there's a level of respect and care and reverence for it that I think, yeah, when you're standing right there, it really does just hit you. And it made all of us who were involved in the committee who were fortunate enough to go visit Nevada want it that much more because we knew what it could mean for
Right.
Pottawattamie County. And it was so important for us. And the committee who's hosting it or who's a part of helping host it is really a mix of individuals. Some of us work for the county, some of us have been pulled in from other facets. Several individuals are from the Veterans Department, whether it's the commissioners for the Veterans Office or individuals who actually work for that office. Obviously, me with PR, I kind of have my hands in a little bit of everything, as
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
but we've just all really come together so focused on this goal of bringing this to our community, both for the veterans, the family, friends, everyone who's been impacted by this, and just being able to bring this experience home.
Well, and in a case like this, your job expands a little bit past just public relations.
Yes.
You can feel it,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that uh, having been, you have a unique perspective because you've seen both now,
Mhm.
and to know that yes, the respect and uh, everything that's happening in Washington D.C. with the full size memorial, they've managed to translate that into this replica, and it's going to be going around. So it's a wonderful opportunity for our region to be able to experience this. So to you and to everyone else that was involved in making this happen. Thank you for the hard work that it took to get the application in and to present our region in a way that they saw not just that this was a great place to put it, but we want to give it to you over Memorial Weekend. That's kind of the extra.
Mhm.
It makes it even more special.
It really does, and it was one of those moments where it was, "Oh my gosh. Oh my
All
gosh.
right.
Now, this is amazing," and now it's raised the bar in terms of expectations, and certainly for all of us, we had a high bar for ourselves and the experience we wanna deliver. In some of the trainings, they talked about the numbers from the 2025 tour throughout the various sites that they went to and the average number of visitors and all these different metrics that they had from there. And immediately I heard some of those numbers and I thought, okay, great. Now I know how many visitors we need to have.
Right.
Because in my mind, we are so fortunate to have this on a holiday weekend. We're fortunate to be in a community that spans, the entire county. And so we go all the way to the east and all the way, north to south with our very large county. But then we have the Omaha Metro right there as well. And we can really pull in from so many directions. We've had even reached out to some groups as far as South Dakota, North Dakota, down in Missouri, Kansas. And there's interest from a lot of individuals who maybe hadn't been reached out to before when it's been in our neighboring area. And we want to be that group that really helps, like you said, cast a wide net and make sure that we're including as many individuals who deserve to know about this as possible.
Well, I know that my Masonic Lodge is looking forward to an opportunity to be able to help. I know there's going to be a lot of other people. Signups coming very soon.
Yes.
Once that information is out there in public and people can actually go to volunteer, we'll share that. We'll get the links up. We'll make sure that um, we want to have all those slots filled just as quickly as possible because that's just going to help with the planning. You don't want to be a week away and saying, "Oh, we still have to fill this time here." You don't need that stress.
We do not.
So,
And what we've heard, and I know it's tough because it basically hits right up against the end of the school year. That was one of the concerns initially when we switched to Lewis Central was we're essentially hosting this. We start on their last day of school for the semester. But if you have any Boy Scout troops who think it would be really fun to volunteer overnight, we would absolutely take that. Or Girl Scouts, anybody. We're, open to ideas. But we've heard that that's been a group that thinks it's very novel to have that midnight to 4 a.m. shift. I don't know how much the troop leaders think it's novel, but anybody who's interested in some of those more off-hour shifts, certainly I think those are going to be some of the harder spots to fill, but it's going to end up being, I believe the estimate is roughly 300 shifts in total across the entire, from setup, staffing the entire 4 days, and then tear down obviously on Monday as well. So it's going to be a long weekend. But it's going to be worth it, and we're so excited to have it.
well,
And
be, be looking for the information. We're going to get it shared. You'll have it on your sites as well. And we're looking forward to just a wonderful Memorial Weekend and to be able to do this. Kate Gerber, thank you so much for coming over and filling us in. And as more information comes in about it, you need more publicity to get that out to the public, you let us know. We'll be very happy to do our part.
wonderful. Thank you so much.
Morning Coffee brought to you by Keith Jones, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Council Bluffs. Learn how he can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. And if you like driving, you could be getting paid for it as a first student bus driver. You'll work short hours, earn a competitive wage, and make a difference in the lives of children. That pay starts with a sign-on bonus. Fully licensed drivers are going to receive a sign-on bonus of $4,000, and those who don't have their CDL yet get a sign-on bonus of $3,000 once your CDL is obtained. And every driver gets on-the-job training, so don't wait. Apply today at workatfirst.com. Well, thanks again to Kate Gerber for coming into the studio and telling us more about the wall that heals. We'll be passing along information as your opportunity to volunteer and sign up to do just that. We'll keep those links handy and hope that you'll come out and join us and help celebrate this wall that heals that's going to be coming to Lewis Central High School here in Council Bluffs, and we'll be seeing that over Memorial Weekend. That is going to wrap up today's show. Ribbon cutting at 4 o'clock this afternoon, 500 Willow in Council Bluffs. We'll see you then. My name's Todd Studer. Have a great Thursday.